Logan here at Me and McGee Market. This is the Lander's Corner section of the video series that we do, and it's where we take a deep dive from our experience with cancer and into nutrition, health, things that have helped us and not. What I want to talk about today is something we did very early on, is eliminated sugars. Very low carbohydrates, eliminated sugar. This, honey. What should I have done? We eliminated it completely. That wasn't the best, or maybe it was. We're gonna get Meg, who's a dietitian, to explain the pros and cons on the honey and how we can incorporate it and how do we have substitutes for that. Let's go see what Meg has to say about honey.
Today we're going to talk about a sweet treat, honey. It's something that's everybody's favorite. Everybody loves a little sweet. And sometimes with honey it can be a little controversial. Is it good? Is it bad? But I'll tell you, every single person is an individual and their needs are different. So we'll just take this information and see if it's a good fit for you. The first thing about honey is, like we like to talk about, is a glycemic index. And that's just kind of a measurement of how it's going to affect the blood sugar after a couple of hours in your body. And honey, there's different ranges. When you have a low glycemic index, it's usually 55 to 1, so 55 being the highest for low. And then when it's a high glycemic index, it's anything over 70. So honey's actually in the middle. It's around 56 to 60. And so what that means, how does it affect your blood sugar? When we eat anything that's sweet or with carbs, it's going to go into our bloodstream and that affects the blood sugar. What happens is our body has to have insulin to be able to take that blood sugar and use it. It's kind of like a bus. You know, you fill up the seats, that's everything the blood sugar is trying to float in to get into the cells that's just kind of standing ready to fill into the bus. But the insulin is actually the door opener. It's going to open the door to let that blood sugar go into the cell and then use it as energy. So insulin is the key. When you have so much sweet things floating around, you might not have enough insulin to be able to open all of the cells to let it be used. Or sometimes the body part that makes insulin, your pancreas, just doesn't work very well, and so it's just not able to produce enough. Regardless, honey's kind of one of those middle things. So sometimes people like to use it and sometimes not. So we'll talk about ways to use it, and then we'll also talk about good substitutes for what to use. One of my favorite things to do with honey is to just it's a simple ginger tea. So you just take ginger, raw ginger, and here I have it already shaved. You put it into a little tea pot. You're going to add some hot water and pour that over. So to just steep on the ginger. Of course, ginger has tons of anti-inflammatory benefits. It's fantastic. We're going to add a little bit of honey, this time for the sweetness. And then anytime I do with tea, I like to add, of course, a little bit of mint. So we can add mint, and then we also have a little fresh lavender. So we'll let that steep, but that is going to be a yummy, delicious tea that you can have. So for things that for people that might not need or want to use honey because of the glycemic index, a great substitute that you can find here is this yacon syrup. It tastes just like honey, but the glycemic index is 1. So instead of a 60, you're actually getting a 1, and you get the same yummy taste. So I'll show you how to make a quick salad dressing that you can do with any kind of vinegar or oil. Today we're going to use, of course, our olive oil. So we'll add a little bit of olive oil. We'll shoot for about half a cup. I eyeball everything. And then we're going to add our vinegar. Today we're using this plum vinegar, which is fermented, and it has a ton of wonderful properties. It's really good on the digestive tract. So we're going to do probably like 1/3 of a cup. And you can do any kind of vinegar, apple cider vinegar, distilled white vinegar, and then we're going to add this yacon syrup for the sweetness, and you're just going to do a little bit. If you wanted to add any kind of herbs, you could. Sometimes I add a little bit of mustard, some lemon juice, put it in a little jar, shake it up, and there you have your own salad dressing. This also could be a marinade for any types of meats or vegetables. So that's another yummy thing. Now, one of our other favorite things to use with honey, especially with this time of year, getting into the fall, a lot of people have allergies or start to get the sniffles or colds, and this year it's very important to kind of keep an eye out for that, especially with sore throats and coughs. So my daughter and I, our favorite thing to do is make what we call Nana honey. But first, I'm gonna need a little help, some lemon. That's what we're gonna use. This is McCoy. This is my daughter, my oldest. Thank you, sweetheart. So what we're gonna do is you'll take this lemon and cut it in half. And then whichever one you wanna use, you can use your honey, which honey, you know, local honey, raw local honey. The bees, they take the pollinators around, so they're gonna have those properties from those flowers, and that sometimes can help with those allergens, especially this time of year. So we'll add like about a tablespoon of honey. And then you just freshly squeeze this lemon juice in there. Stir this up, and you have made a natural, homemade, what we call Nana honey. But this is gonna help coat the throat. If they have a little tickle in their throat before bedtime, give this to them, and it helps with a cough or drainage, and they'll sleep right away. I'm telling you, McCoy and I have used this. I've used it when I was a little girl. She uses it all of the time when she needs it, and it's wonderful. So whichever route you wanna go with either honey or a different substitute like this yacon syrup that you can get here, either way, whatever is the best fit for you, these are great ways to get that little bit of sweetness, get the benefits from the all-natural products, and then still have the sweet taste that you're looking for. And you can try any of these things, and hopefully it works for you guys. Thanks so much.
So it sounds like honey is like a lot of things in life. It depends on what your goal is, what your specific circumstances are, and everything's different, and moderation might be key to that as well. Glad Meg came out, explained a lot of things from a perspective of her specialty, and gave us a really easy recipe, I think, and it tastes good. So hope you enjoyed what we're doing. If you've got questions, please let us know. We want to continue creating awareness and helping people get through whatever it is you're trying to do to get healthy. Thanks.